Hi there, guys. This is a reading for, I call it Selective Collective. It's the people that come to the reading, right? So we understand that. It's not that I'm just picking, you know what I mean? So certain people that get drawn to it. And I'm still stuck on what I was stuck on yesterday as far as a main message. Feeling like, I don't know, like there's this urge in my soul to speak up more about giving love to all groups of people and how really important that is, and actually how beneficial to society it can be. Because if society would understand that investing in somebody that apparently has cast a very dark shadow only means that if you invest in them the right way, the light side is going to be just as big, if not bigger. And so you could actually invest in someone who would have way more to contribute once they reach their light side, only because of how much shadow they've either had to experience or that they put, in some cases, here to put themselves through. Without, I'm not saying I even understand all of that. And of course, there's going to be exceptions to every rule. But, it goes on the saying of the brighter or the darker, the brighter your light, the darker the shadow that you cast. And sometimes people just don't get really opportunities to show the light side once their shadow has been cast. And so limitations and roadblocks on the ability to rise up, I think that stuff needs to be changed. And anyways, so that's just what I want to talk about. And that's just that's like the top of the iceberg, right? I'm sure I could go much further. I'm still drinking my coffee, still trying to wake up. If you got a private reading, those will be done today. They will be completed today. If you get a private reading today, it will be done within 48 hours. Those are $24 on my website in the description box below. And I basically record a reading for you on whatever it is that you want me to figure out or ask. I'll ask the cards anything. Anything for you. Dun 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 dun. Message you have for the collective. Oh yeah. Well, that makes sense, right? It's a beautiful thing when we can shed the ego, the mind, the overthinking, and really just focus on who we are as the divine self. That's what the Drowned King does. The titles, the labels, the good, the bad, but everything that's relating to just this body, just a belief that came from maybe overthinking, and then the mind, of course that's ego. So it's not bad. You have to learn how to integrate. If you can be in this. When I see this card, I think of somebody going through this period where there's this stretch of time where all is complete bliss, feeling completely shed of everything, and oh my gosh, I couldn't give a shit if I lived or died in this moment. It just feels so good, and it's not drug induced. It's just being absolutely awakened to that idea. But here's the truth, though, is that we do have this avatar for a limited amount of time. And so that awareness is going to be imperable to find out basically for yourself who's in control or who do you want to be in control. Because when you let the mind be in control and the overthinking and the labels and things like that and the belief systems, then you limit yourself. And so there is a balance after that period of, and I went through that too, where it was just like, everything was so wonderful. Everything was I loved everything. And I still love everything. But I would say that I went from that stage to starting to make goals for myself. And they were new ones. They were ones based more on the greater good, more on love, more on trying to figure out, well, if my soul is here in a temporary body, then what is it temporarily trying to do? It might be for the next lifetime, maybe you're setting the stage. Maybe we're setting the stage for our next lifetimes to be the best of the best of the best. And so it's imperative to help that process, I guess, by connecting with your divine self, your soul. Oh, and if you are in this period of like everything is bliss and I'm just one, enjoy that and spend as much time in that as you need. you know, because that's a beautiful, that is a beautiful feeling, to absolutely be completely in tune with everything, one with everything. It is a wonderful, beautiful feeling. It's not practical though for for living out the rest of it. See, there's a integrating. The part of this card that they usually like to talk about in the guidebook, let's say, is taking these pieces that have dissolved, and since energy is neither, you know, well, I don't know, they say neither created nor destroyed. Yeah, okay, we'll go with that at that point. All right, we'll just go with that for this place, for the physics of this place. And those little bits and pieces, they are gathered up and they create something new, okay? This is very significant, the way that this card flew out. It is the lead card. It has to do with being in a state of transition. There's heavy decisions, big, I would say this is related to Saturn too, where you're realizing that there's a pretty big consequence to a decision, and I'm not like labeling that sometimes we look at consequences as necessarily a bad thing, so I'm not labeling that bad or good. It's almost like just being in between two states, but you're coming out of this, so you're about to emerge into this new state of being with this card. I see we have the yin and the yang energy. We have both aspects, light and dark, shadow and light. And there's your spark of light. And then, wow, interesting. Quicksilver, which is about like speed, movement, mobility, flew to the side here. Oh, wow. And it flew to the left side. So it makes me think that something is going to be moving rapidly when it comes to spiritual advancement, which of course in the long, you know, that ends up resulting in a physical manifestation too. But so something's going to get moving. It's going to be about travel for some. And Quicksilver, yeah, they want me to say, so like, when I say they, I'm talking about my spirit guides and my angels, your angels too, our joined spirit guides too, let's say. Mercury, when you see it, if you remember the old thermometers, if they broke, well, first of all, they were like, don't touch it. But there were a lot of, there were some misconceptions about that. But when it comes to how it moves like almost like a solid, but it's definitely still liquidy. So in between two states is telling me kind of like that your body is changing, okay? That your body's changing. You may be going through activations, things where you could get woke up at night and have a certain chakra just staticky, electrified, and be like, what the fuck is this? You know, maybe you even think something's wrong with you. If it comes and goes like that just real quick and never comes back again, it was probably a chakra activation. But of course, you just always want to rule out things. Most intense for me was the heart chakra activation. That was the most intense. I had a lot of issues. Okay, so the spark of light, though, is when you're in that dark place and then you see a spark of light. This represents hope. So it is representing hope. It's representing, I see a bunch of sparklers like in the night sky. So, and I'm getting the feeling like there's a lot of people enjoying this sight. So no longer will it be a time where you just have one person and their family enjoying all these sparks of light. You're going to have a group, a collective getting to enjoy it, like getting to experience this joy that should be shared anyway. It's giving me that feel. And so there's just something about hope coming in really strong here. Nice. Okay, I'm so... What else are we gonna get? And then the Earth's heart. Beautiful. The Earth's heart. It's getting to the core. And if you notice these different symbols on this card. Like, you have the harvest. Well, first you have the green. It kind of looks like there may be some trees. You have spirit. You have the sky. And then you have the harvest here. That can make you fruitful. That can make you wealthy too. Then you have these tiny nuggets of gold underneath that. So then you find that, and that's a little bit more wealth, a little bit more, right? And then you go a little bit deeper, and then you find bigger nuggets of gold. And then you go to a very dark place. It reminds me of the dark night of the soul. You go to the earth's core, because this place that you're going, nobody else can experience this for you. Nobody else has been there. So your experience is totally you. That is what makes it true. If you think about it, it makes it pretty amazing to have a temporary body, which in eternity terms is really not that long, but such an individual, beautiful experience while still being part of the whole. It's kind of amazing, actually. And so we have this red rose, and this is representing what is blooming, what is buried here that you could call treasure, and you find it. And you find it in maybe the darkest parts, too. So, yeah, sulfur in the reverse. Purging. There's still some purging. That might be part of ascending, too. I'm kind of picking that up also. Is a purging. Most of the stuff that happens to me usually happens at night. And it might be only because I'm very busy during the day most times, unless I'm taking a nap, and then I dream. But at night, I'm quiet, and I'm still, and I'm paying attention. So that might be the reason I notice things a little bit more at night when it comes to activations and things changing. I feel like the body's changing with this Quicksilver. The body is changing. The body is also upgrading. All right. Let's open a big can of worms here with the Kipper deck. It always does that for us, doesn't it? It always does that. Let's see what we've got for this group of collective. That thank you for showing up to these readings. I don't get too many people showing up to these readings, so I decided at that point I was probably attracting just the people that really needed to see the videos, or that could actually relate to what I'm talking about. Because if you can't relate to what I'm talking about, then you might not empathize. You might not empathize. I always get this card, and I what comes across my mind with toil and labor is the great work that you've come here to do. And maybe the toil and labor too that had to come before you got to this point. Some of y'all really could be worried about money right now, about finances with despair card. We have in the reverse. And okay, and see, so I have sudden wealth, but it's in the reverse. So there's something that is coming for you. It's just possibly coming in divine timing. And so that might be like, oh no. So this can represent some kind of worry here on your mind. And we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. What's going to help the despair, the toil, and the labor? What's going to help this? We do have a message, by the way. Oh yes, you come out of it. Okay, good. So I like reading. I like reading in reversals. Gives us a very specific message. Your hard work, your life's work is about to really pay off with poverty in the reverse. Any kind of despair that you were feeling, you're going to be coming out of it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I say absolutely because the love that would be radiating from the people drawn to this reading would be very accepting and very probably close to unconditional love. I don't know if we could all be like Mother Mary, but with unconditional love. But we can try, right? We can try our best. And that energy is going to lead you in this new space that we're occupying. This new consciousness will support your actual authentic love. So hope of getting out of that, energy of lack. It can, the despair, if you're not worried about money, or money's not the problem here, it could be about feeling kind of alone. too. And that in itself also is going to be relieved. You will not have to be alone. Look, and then the community card comes out. Yes. So you will, that's just clarified. You really will not have to be alone. There's other people here. This is like a soul group work. This is work on a soul group level. Just the love alone, no job or taxes, just the connection to the soul's work here with intention and sending out something from your heart chakras is going to be enough to bring in this. I'm really not so sure in the past that it was able to. I really am not, because I think there was just a very overpowering energy for a very long time. Maybe it's because it suppressed our own divine self intentions. Who knows? But so yeah, you do not have to be alone. You have community. You do have your angels. You have your spirit guides. Now more than ever, you can receive signs from them. You just simply need to ask, you know, hey, know you're there, but I am feeling down and I'd like to see more signs today. And that you will. I have courtship under the message, and the courtship is in the reverse, and then concern in the reverse, coming out of an unhealthy situation. What is this about? This is different. This is different. Hang on. This card is usually about people getting together, somebody wanting to court you, wanting to really get to know you very well. Tell me about concern. Why is it in the reverse? High honor. High honor has to do with the level of respect, appreciation. It can also have to do with becoming known, becoming more popular, being recognized. What it has to do with concern, I don't know, but those are master numbers up there, 11 and 33. And then the mountain in reverse. An obstacle or a challenge that you're going to be able to remove. Maybe it's saying not to be too concerned about this financial aspect and focus more here on something about the recognition that you're already getting for moving a mountain out of your way. Almost like by doing it by faith. And this could be about not being overly concerned here too, about lack or focusing on what is not there, as it's going to help you overcome this mountain energy. Tell me a little bit more here. Sudden wealth. Fish. Yes. Okay. The fish is in the Lenormand. Okay, you might be a bigger fish needing a bigger pond. This is your access to wealth and wealth resources, like grants, money given, plenty. It could be a move, but it's also the fish. I get reminded of God's math, right? God's math would also be like, it just takes the faith the size of the grain of a mustard seed, right, to move a mountain. And the fish flow around their obstacles very easily. So imagine that you're a fish and the oxygen is your water and you're just flowing. Okay, what's courtship about? Happiness. The lily is about satisfaction and happiness. And courtship in the reverse is simply, it's coming across to me as something that is just hasn't manifested yet, or it's something that's going to be in the future, associated with a lot of happiness for you. And building a stable house or stable foundations, thick walls, Nice windows, shelter, protection. It's what you're building or going to be building. And so this is the hope for that. Give me something on toil and labor. The sun and the stork rising above some kind of new experience. Wow, the sun and on top of the fish. It's about your work with the divine. It's about your work as a soul. And how just the love for that work alone is going to move mountains for you and put you in a better place with money and everything. The sun also brings in healing, growth, expansion, new things, bliss, happiness. Just to name a few. And there's this energy of leader. Leader. Yeah, there's a relationship or something like that maybe with an older gentleman or could be looked at as like also a mentor or someone that can help. But we have crossroads 22. It's like the Lover's energy. And so it's a 4. Or it reduces to a 4. Either spirit child coming in, wanting to come through, or it's saying, this is what's going to, this is the message that you're going to have. Coming together, it's coming together for like a new beginning. Something in its infancy stages. You could be relating to a woman outside of you. Woman. Oh, for some of y'all ending, because it did come out kind of in the reverse. For some of y'all, that might be an ending with that energy, or you may feel like it's like the ending of despair. And then unexpected money is showing up. Unexpected money. That's the recognition, maybe even fame for some, whatever it is that you do, of the Lenormand, cannot talk, and it's the moon card, so there's changes, but it has something to do with you being respected and recognized. Maybe for the fox that you are, the fox is clever, resourceful, uses resources wisely, can figure out stuff too pretty easily. Okay. The dog, a faithful friend and ally. Maybe a spirit dog also coming through for you to say something to you. I had a passed on dog come through to me in a dream. He was like my little companion in my dream. Took him everywhere in the dream. And I'm like, you're back. It was so wonderful. Okay, I have it's time. It's time for action. Things are fast-tracked to unfold quickly and smoothly. Yes, the answer is yes. The situation or event is right on track at this time. Definitely an ending here with this urn. Loss, death, absence, setback, poverty. But here's that poverty, the ending of this poverty, right? You may be feeling uncertain at this time about what's going to happen or how you're going to be able to overcome an obstacle or challenge. But you do. This uncertainty could come from a Black Widow energy, so just be careful about who's in your energy, because I have like a toxic situation or relationship, web of control, entrapment, insidious, warning, twisted, turncoat. I think this energy would be influencing you with the uncertainty. And that's fear. And you don't want to get in that energy. So I feel like that's how you deal with that. Okay, Pearl, emotional force, opening up, experiential wisdom, honesty, intuition, perception, loyalty, the moon, the subconscious mind, hidden things, diving deep, layers, and developing character. Nice. And the rainbow with the yes. I like that. Okay, Spirit, what do you want? Let's get some messages from the tarot. World in reverse. That's the end of this cycle. I think it's talking about poverty and or feeling lonely. It's the end of a cycle. The new one's coming. Yes, the Hangman in the reverse. The new one is coming. And it will be a time of waiting, like, over. Investing into something different here. Once this chapter closes out, it's like we'll be investing our energy, our love in different places. The Ace of Wands is the Ace of Wands. And this is passion, passionate new beginning. Oh, passionate new high-level commitment, or somebody that you're meant to come together. It can be passion or inspiration for work that is guided by the divine and your connection with the divine, with the Hierophant. It's a good energy. And then I have the Two of Cups on the bottom. So it is real love, real partnerships. And it's time, right? It's time. Okay. Opportunities. Property. A property purchase or sale for many, but heed security concerns in any transactions, is what it says. Wisdom, that could be the Hierophant energy too. To focus on the past is to lose the future. Heed advice from an older person, which will allow you to move on. Change, a change of residence, partner, career, or job is on the cards. You are restless and in need of change, and that is exactly what's coming your way. And it might involve travel. Long distance communication will open up in your life. Exciting experiences for singles and career advancement for others. 44, 31. Oh. Okay, and we'll close out with this one. 77. On the bottom one. 77 says it's time to move on from old patterns, habits, and fears. Now is the time to walk in the direction of your biggest desires and ambitions. Now is the time to be bold and brave. I am brave. So I'm sending you so much love. Thanks for joining me. Bye.